Okay, class. So the last notes for today, we're going to look at different types of clouds. So we know that clouds form when the air can't hold any more water vapor. The air's cooled down. There's too much water vapor in the air. All that extra water um, becomes liquid, right? Condensation. So that condensation becomes clouds up in the air. And there's a bunch of different types of clouds. We're going to get into that right now. Okay, so here's a picture with a whole bunch of different types of clouds, right? These all have very long names. You guys are going to understand what they mean, hopefully by the end of this. But you guys have seen these clouds all before. Cirrus clouds, these are the super high wispy clouds up in the sky. Your cumulonimbus cloud, sorry. They're like your thunderstorm clouds, right? Lots of rain, thunder and lightning, things like that. Some of your middle clouds are like stratocumulus or stratus clouds. Those are kind of in the middle or like your overcast days. So you guys have all seen these clouds before. So understanding cloud names all comes down to the roots that they use in the name. Okay, there's a bunch of recurring words in these names, and if you know them, you'll kind of understand what type of cloud they're talking about. So most of these roots are named after Latin words that describe them. So for example, cirro means curl or fringe. So think wispy, curly, fringy. So cirrus clouds are those really high, wispy, curly clouds. Alto means high, so they're not the clouds low to the ground. Cumulus means heap or pile. Think puffy. When you accumulate things, you're getting a whole bunch of things in one spot. Cumulus means heap or pile. Nimbus means rain. So if the word nimbus is in the word for the cloud, it probably means that it's producing rain. Stratus means layer. Okay, so these clouds are in layers. Think overcast or clouds that you can see layers of. So let's review how clouds form. So you need condensation of water vapor in the atmosphere. That just means that your air's cooling off. It can't hold all the water vapor, so that extra water becomes liquid, right? Condensation. You also need dust or other particulates. You can just think of these as little particles in the air. These are called nuclei, okay? So for clouds, we need nuclei in the air, okay? That's what the water sticks to, right? You can think of it as kind of like a snowball effect. You need one little center of the ball to start rolling and getting things to collect onto it. There's three basic types of clouds, okay? The first type we're going to talk about, cirrus clouds. I've talked about it a couple times already, but these are the light and feathery looking clouds like over here, okay? These are made mostly of ice crystals because they're super high up in the air, and as you get higher up in the air, your temperature goes down, right? It's cooling off. So it's super cold up there. All that water turns to ice. It's light and feathery looking and wispy, very high up, greater than 20,000 feet. Our second type of clouds I'm going to talk about are cumulus clouds, okay? Cumulus clouds are the big puffy clouds, right? They kind of look like cotton candy up in the air. These form from rising air currents. The warm air suddenly goes up and cools off, right? So that warm air can hold a lot of water, and then it cools off very quickly, can't hold a lot of water. So those big puffy clouds have lots and lots of condensation, okay? They have a flat bottom, as you can see here, kind of like a flat bottom, and they can build very high. You can think of like thunderstorms or your rain clouds, right? Big and dark, puffy. Our third major type of cloud is stratus clouds. These are sheet-like clouds. They form layer upon layer. They form at low altitudes. Some other stratus clouds can form a little bit higher. We have some clouds called altostratus. So these are, you can think of like your overcast. They're layered clouds. They're like in this picture here, kind of like overcast, your dreary days. These are sheet-like. Stratus means layered. Some other types of clouds that we have are fog, and fog is simply a cloud formed at the surface of the earth. Air is cooled to the point where it can't hold the water vapor that it has, and that extra water vapor forms a cloud at the surface of the earth. You can see these a lot by the ground, rivers, lakes, anywhere where the water is cooler or something is cooler than the air around it, it is going to cause the air around it to cool down, and it can't hold on to all its water. Some other types of clouds we have are cumulonimbus. If you have watched the movie Up, you've heard this word when Russell's saying it. Cumulonimbus. Let's look at the word. Cumulus means big and puffy, right? Big, puffy clouds, and nimbus means rain. So you have these big, puffy rain clouds. These are common with thunderstorms. Like over here, you ever hear of the anvil, right? Those big, puffy anvil clouds with thunderstorms. That's what a cumulonimbus cloud is. You don't have to worry about updrafts or tropopause or any of that, but you should know that cumulo means big and puffy, and nimbus means rain. Okay, our other types of clouds, altostratus. Alto means high, stratus means layered. So these are higher up layered clouds, okay? Like overcast. So these are mid-altitude, so not the super high like cirrus clouds, right? Cirrus clouds way high up in the air, but these are still pretty high, right? They're not close to the ground. They're layered. The sun might shine through, but it's going to appear blurred. Another type of cloud we have are altocumulus clouds. Alto meaning higher, so it's high. It's not. You can think of it like in band, right? Alto means like a high instrument, high pitched. I mean. Alto meaning not close to the ground, and cumulus meaning puffy. This picture here is showing that. It's high up, puffy clouds. They're grayish white. These kind of look like a fingernail at arm's length. Okay, it's not like one big cloud. They're a bunch of little ones. They're separated. And finally, we have nimbostratus. Nimbo means rain, and stratus means layered. So these are like your dreary days where the whole sky is overcast. It's raining. They produce precipitation, right? Nimbo means rain. They're formed from altostratus clouds from up here. If they get enough precipitation, they start to rain. They become nimbostratus. Very dark gray, right? Like our rain clouds are dark. Okay, so the last cloud we're going to talk about is stratocumulus. Remember, stratus means layered, cumulus means big and puffy, a heap, something like that. So these are low altitude. They're separate patches or waves, right? They're layered, right? You can see the layers here, but they're big and puffy, kind of separated in between. Separate patches or waves, but there's still these layers to the cloud. I've attached this picture here to show different types of clouds. I'm going to attach this picture in a separate Word document so you guys can pull it up really easily. You don't have to come back to this video. But I'm going to have you do an assignment where you have to draw different colors, or not different colors, different clouds that you see throughout the week and try to figure out what type they are, okay? So the biggest thing I want you to take away from this whole lesson is look at the root names. If you're going to memorize anything, memorize the cloud root names, because that's going to help you if you see a cloud name somewhere and you have to break it down. I want you to look at these names. Okay, I'm also going to attach these in a Word document that you can get to super easily. Okay, so remember, cirro, think high up and wispy. Alto is high. Now, alto doesn't mean like super high like the cirro. It's kind of like middle, right? Mid altitude, higher than low altitude. Okay, cumulus means heap or pile. Think puffy like cotton candy or marshmallows, things like that. Cumulus is big and puffy. Nimbus means rain, so if you see nimbus in the cloud name, that means it's creating precipitation. And stratus means layered, so they're like the big layered clouds that build one on top of the other.